being joined by Justin Arvon, Greater Beckley. Obviously, not the result you wanted. Kind of a polar opposite of the last time you guys met. What happened tonight in your estimation? The second quarter it got away.
It did. Well, it really got away in the first quarter. We missed a few open looks that I feel like we typically make. John Rose had 2 air balls up there, and he's a really good shooter. Maybe it was the atmosphere. He's kind of young. He came back around in the second half, but we just missed shots in the first quarter and had some turnovers, didn't keep them out of the lane. And, of course, foul trouble got us. And you know, anytime that happens with us, we're not extremely deep. And that really hurts us probably more than it does some other people. But we executed in the second half and tried to fight back, and I'm happy with that, and we got another chance.
You were able to cut it down. It looked like it was going to be the same way as up at your place when you played James Monroe. They were able to get back in the game. Mm-hmm. Did you just kind of run out of steam there, especially after McGinnis went out? You lose your big with 2 minutes left. I guess the Tetris had something to do with him fouling out. Did you know it, or were you rolling the dice trying to keep him in there?
Yeah, that was rolling the dice because we had to get back in the ball game at that point. These kids never gave up. Our whole goal, right down to the buzzer, was to win the game. We cut it to 11 or 12 there in the fourth quarter, 55-43 at one point, I remember. And then we had a turnover, and they got a layup on the other end. And then they hit a couple big shots. Look, Savage hit some 2 24-foot three-pointers, pretty heavily guarded on this end in the second half that really, really were daggers to us. And you got to credit him; he's just a good player.
When that happens, you get disheartened in that situation? I mean,
not me. I'm sure the kids do, but I'm just proud that, as a group, I'm sure you do. I remember playing, someone hit a shot like that, you're trying to make a run. That's difficult to come back from. But I'll tell you what, in the second half, they hit those shots. We did come down, and we got quality possessions on this end. That's all you can ask when you're trying to make a run. You give something up, you go get it back. And that was their mindset, and they did that.
Coach, in the first half, there were lots of fouls on both sides, but then you have to go to your bench. You got to do that. Tell me about the depth of your team able to continue to fight.
Well, we definitely went to our bench, and we got good minutes out of them. Michael Judy stepped up huge for us off the bench, rebounding the ball and scoring on the offensive end, making good plays, didn't turn the ball over. Andy Smith came in, gave us good minutes. My son Braylon Arvon came in, gave us great minutes defensively. Thought he got fouled there. They ended up being on him, but those are good minutes. That's what we have to have out of our bench, and they really showed up today, or this game could have got really out of hand.
Now you get to move on, though, to the regionals next week. Tell me about the challenge ahead.
Oh, huge challenge. We've seen Webster twice now. We've been to Upper Glade a lot. Great team, well coached, good environment up there. It's going to be tough to win. But I'm just telling you, if we don't come out of the gate like we do tonight, and this is typically what we do. We start slow for whatever reason, and then our focus isn't there, and then we have to fight back, and we typically do. But we can't do that. It's win or go home Wednesday. I think the kids ought to come out ready to roll.
Justin, you guys have played a lot of the top-ranked teams in the state. You know guys, know teams. Are they as tough as anybody to guard, to match up with when you got Shad and Eli hitting, and then there are guys inside are contributing as well?
Oh my goodness! Look, Shad and Eli are 2 of the best players in this state, and they play at any level in this state. I have no doubt about it. I mean, you got a kid pulling with quick release like Shad does from 24 feet, and you just feel like it's going in just while it's in the air, just because he's shooting it. Really good player. Eli, I think he's averaging 9 assists. I'm sure he was up around that tonight. And look, their bigs are athletic, big and strong, and they got other shooters on the outside. Zero's a good player. There's a really good team, and I think they stand a really good chance to win the whole thing. Of course, I think we do too. It just depends what group we have to show up, how we execute.
Well, you beat James Monroe, you beat Webster County on back-to-back nights, and you were home then. You got to go on the road, and I would assume Webster's right up there with the cream of the crop in this region too. Which, there's 4 or 5 really good teams.
There is.
We could have done some damage in Charleston.
Oh, definitely. This is the toughest region, bar none, in single A. I have no doubt about it. I mean, there's good sections, like man and tug sections, good, but our region is just, there's 5 teams that probably should be in Charleston or should have an opportunity, but we do have the opportunity on Wednesday.
You won't make excuses, but the technicals in the second quarter, and then those surrounding the free throws go around the Shad 3, and all of a sudden it's a 7-point swing. How tough was that just to bounce back from that? Because really, if you look at, you cut it to 10 in the second half.
Yeah.
Take that away, and you're right there.
We are. Well, I'm going to take up for my guy Ezra. It was not a technical. It should not have been called. Official said that he said something that I knew immediately Ezra doesn't say as a human being. So I knew immediately that was just an awful decision there. Really gave Ezra his third and fourth fouls on that possession. And so he had to sit out for a quarter and a half, 2 quarters. And it was just a bad call. And Ezra's not the person to say what he said. And look, I'm going to take up for him every time. And then the second technical, after a few that I had questions about, really, they called a foul. And I was just trying to get our kids fired up a little bit. And they came out in the second half after that a little more ready to go. So
great thing about this point in the season, you're kind of surviving in advance anyway. So you got one more at least. And with a trip on the line, with the trip to Charleston on the line.
That's right. I needed to see in that second half our kids with the will to win. They cut it down to 10, and it really should have been 8 or 6 there. We missed a couple lay-ins. But no, I'm proud of the way they fought back. I think we got a great shot on Wednesday, and we're going to go up there and try to win and move on to Charleston.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Justin.